Hey, Dan Passarelli here. I was talking early last week, with one of our students, and this person suggested that maybe I do one of our videos on how to select the best call or put. And I said, that's a great idea. Now, when I said that, I didn't really think through that one of the challenges to that is it kind of depends on what strategy we're talking about. If I'm talking about which call or put to buy for a strangle versus a time spread versus a long call, versus something else, it's going to be a different answer each way. So let's, in the spirit of trying to provide some great stuff that can help, let's try and address at least one of these right now. Let's start looking at a long call or a long put. So if we look at this chart here of spiders, now you'll notice spiders here went from about 410 down to about, 365 or so in about, 2 weeks. And now that's a pretty big violent move. Now, if you were able to predict this, right? Or if maybe when it was up here, you forecasted that this would happen, which put would you have wanted to buy? Well, you probably, in hindsight, would have wanted to buy a put maybe, with the stock up here at 410, probably at about 390 or 385 strike with maybe just a couple of weeks until expiration. Now, why? Well, first of all, because when we first buy that put, it's going to be pretty far out of the money, right? With the stock up at 410 and we're buying the 385 put, this put is pretty far out of the money. Therefore, it has very low time decay. It also has low gamma, but as the market fell and the put becomes closer to the money, once it becomes at the money, it's got its highest level of gamma, which means that the deltas are changing in your favor at the fastest rate. And then when we go through that, we start moving away from the highest gamma, but it's still benefiting us back down to low theta. So when we're looking for really big violent moves in a short period of time, we always want to do some out of the money options so that we move to and through that long strike. Now, if we instead had an opportunity like this is WWE, and over that same period, that was down a little bit too, but it was down maybe about $2 during that same period. So we probably would have done something different there. There's not really enough room to split it and do the middle strike here, like a 68 strike or something, or 69 strike. It's going to be at the money either way, and therefore you're going to be paying a lot of theta during this whole period. So instead, we would probably do an in-the-money put in that case, because it starts out with a high delta, which is what we want, so we can capture a little bit on each of those small change days, and also having a low theta, so we don't lose that much while it just sort of slowly meanders down over a couple of weeks. So that's a good starting point. We can talk about this in other future videos, so stay tuned for that. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.